Hey, great Thursday morning. It is a beautiful day in the city of Brownsville. It's nice and sunny. A lot of rain is supposed to come down on us today. I guess that's what the meteorologists say. But hey, Andre, you got here on time. Yes, you got here a couple of seconds right before we click on. But it's good to have Andrea from Los Fresnos. And
Nice.
beautiful day in the city of Brownsville. Today we have with us Jaden Huffam.
Huff 'em. But everyone says Huffman. Yes,
I
sir.
don't know why I wanted to say Huffman all night. Jaden Huffman, and he's joining us this morning. Going to be helping us out,
Hopefully.
hopefully regularly during the morning show. So appreciate it, Jaden, man.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it, Erasmo. It's always a pleasure to be on your show because, everyone wants to be on your show. Am I right?
Well, Jaden, thank you. So, what do you do for the city of Browns? What do you do in the
Well,
city of Brownsville?
the thing is, I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams. So I've been I've been in the business for maybe 6 months, and it's changed a lot since I joined. Because right when I joined, things were normal. I'd say a month later, just everything just changed. The whole market changed. So it's very, very difficult to understand. Thank you, thank you. Good morning, good morning. It's very difficult to predict the trends and everything, but we're going to be talking about the market right now because there's a lot of money to be made in the buenos dias. A lot of money to be made in the market if you're playing it right, if you know what to do. So we'll talk about the statistics and everything.
Awesome.
So
It's awesome to have you here, man.
thank you, I appreciate it.
And thank
Yeah.
Jaden is a graduate of Valley Christian,
Right.
and I love
Really good
Valley
high school.
Christian. I
Now,
love.
another thing is, Erasmo, we can also talk about the fact that I was a victim of BISD public schooling because I went to Stell Middle School for middle school, and I went to Russell Elementary for elementary school. And it was just, we're going to talk about that because there's some reform that needs to be made. You know what I mean?
Amen, brother.
There we go.
Dane. Welcome aboard. Good morning, Daniel. Guys, one of the things that we talked about last night, and we had a great show last night. I think there was like 9,000 individuals out there. My goodness, thank y'all so much. It was a long show, but it was a good show. And again, thank you for Antonio Guevara for being on last night. And I apologize that we didn't get to interact as much, but there's a lot happening in the city of Brownsville. And one of the things that came out in the middle of the show that we talked about, well, we started off the show with saying that 343 individuals tested positive for Hidalgo County and 4 deaths. And again, that's just very, very, very sad situation. And we were expecting numbers not to be great in the city of Brownsville. And guess what? We were right. Jane, did you have a chance to look at the numbers?
Well, I'll tell you about Hidalgo. They're actually planning on imposing a curfew in Hidalgo County. Do you hear about that?
Yeah.
They already announced it live on a stream that they're gonna impose a curfew. I don't know when it's gonna be. Maybe they'll tell us soon, but they're already imposing a curfew.
You thought I was Harry Styles?
Yeah, I did too.
Is it my hair? I love me some.
Oh, that's too bad, El Vela. Yeah, I mean, you just. Ugh.
I know you're trying to trick me, Rosa. No, it's not gonna happen today. Good morning, Pati.
Morning.
Hi, hermosa, ¿cómo estás? Well, the numbers are, yeah, I did hear. Morning, Kimberly. Kimberly, we need to have you on one of these mornings because I want to talk about your progress. Kimberly, Jaden, actually tested. She's a friend of mine. She actually tested positive and was in quarantine for I think some weeks out there. And I think she's doing better now, but I think her whole family was in lockdown. So we need to bring her on one of these mornings and see life after the Rona.
Yeah, get an accurate view of symptoms, what it's like, because lots of us don't have a firsthand experience of what it's like to get coronavirus. So that's very important to know just what it's like. It'd be interesting.
One of the things that came out yesterday is that they said yesterday when they were 2 days ago when they were having the press conference. You know what they said? They said if you didn't know someone who had the Rona by now, you're going to.
Yeah.
It's like, I made mention about this a couple of weeks ago. It's going to be like cancer, Jaden. It's going to be like cancer in the sense that cancer has affected the lives of every single individual out there. Well, the Rona, I predicted it weeks ago that it was going to be the same, and guess what? Surely it is. And now the medical professionals are saying the same thing. Okay, it's getting to the point where everyone out there is going to know someone or have.
Now the thing is, Erasmo, it's a virus, and I'm not a doctor, but when you get a virus, it stays in the body forever. It's just inactive, right?
Right.
You know about that. So I mean, if everyone gets it, is that going to be, because it's a virus, it's going to spread. If you get it once, you have it forever. So if everyone has it, is that going to be good because no one has any symptoms and the human body just adapts to it and everyone's fine? Or that's just long-term thinking, because when you think about it, if you keep a small portion of the population without exposure, um, their bodies are going to be different than all the other people's bodies because they don't have the virus, but other people's bodies are going to adapt naturally because they have the virus in them. So that's just something that we can see about. We'll just have to speculate.
Yeah, and I mean, it makes sense. One of the things we had Dr. Cerdan in on 2 nights ago.
Okay.
And let me tell you, Dr. Cerdan,
the neurosurgeon, right?
Yeah, neurologist, neurosurgeon. Dr. Cerdan, and also a medical practitioner. Dr. Cerdan asserted what you're saying right now. Dr. Cerdan basically said, guys, it's a novel virus. We're learning as we go. And that's very telling, because a lot of the things that even the medical professionals, the scientists thought about the virus have, come not to be.
Everything changes. I mean, you've heard from the beginning, they say, oh, it doesn't affect kids, and then it affects kids. And then they say, oh, 6 feet apart, and then they find out it doesn't have to be 6 feet, it could be longer, So it's just a ridiculous amount of misinformation that we're being fed. I would wish, it would be so much better if they would just give you a fact. Don't even assume anything. If you're not 100% sure, don't tell people that this is what happens. Just wait until it's a fact, until it's a guaranteed fact that wearing a mask works, 6 feet, all that stuff. Just wait until it's a fact. It's not that hard,
Well, one of the things that came out yesterday, a lot of individuals were talking about students coming back onto campus. And the school district actually put out, BISD put out the results from their survey. Now, they've had this survey going on for the past, I would say, 3 weeks, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong. But on the survey, people were being asked, do you want your children to go back on campus or distant learning? Which one will it be? Now, take into account, Jaden, this is 3 weeks ago.
Right. That was before the boom of the past 4 days, right? Yeah.
We're not in the same position that we were 3 weeks ago.
Right.
So now they come out with the results saying, well, it's like 50-50. It's like 50-50. Yeah, but that
not
was
anymore.
3 weeks ago.
Not anymore.
Those same people, Jaden, if you get those same people and you start asking them again, they're going to say, well, heck no, look at how the numbers are.
Exactly.
Crazy. That is why we can't use, Jaden, information from 3 weeks ago. We need it every day.
Everything needs to be current, updated. If you don't know what you're talking about, don't say it. That's it. Just fact.
And all viruses keep coming back. Not everyone is like herpes, which is the gift that keeps on giving. I think
that's why.
But
that's why it stays with you.
It's like the flu. You get the flu one time, you might get it again 2-3 years from now. It's just something that might come back. I don't know. It better not be. Good morning, Sam. Good morning. I enjoy your show. Oh, Rosie, thank you for being here, Rosie.
Wow. Thank you.
But yeah, that is one of the big issues that you have to be current. And I think that's one of the reasons why we've been very successful, David, is because every day we try to keep individuals informed about what's coming out on a daily basis because things change.
I mean, most of the people of Brownsville, besides this source, they only get their news from the Brownsville Herald, because that's the monopoly of news in Brownsville, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. Exactly. Some people don't even have symptoms. So what are we going to do? They go to the restaurants, they check your temperature before they let you go into the restaurant. That's stupid. Some people don't even have temperatures, but they still have COVID. What's it going to do?
Exactly. That's exactly what was going on when
Exactly.
the school district started to ask kids to come back on campus. They said, well, we're going to check their temperature, or in
No,
graduation,
no.
we're going to check their temperature. What
That's
does that mean? They can be asymptomatic and walk in
exactly.
with it and be spreading around to everyone.
Exactly.
Doesn't much matter if they don't have a temperature. That was
So
just
that's
chaotic. The doctors that have been on here have said the same thing. The only thing that's going to help us get through this hump, get through the little jump, is to maintain distance amongst ourselves. Uh, isolation.
it's common sense. I mean, anyone with a brain can tell that if someone's asymptomatic, checking a temperature is not going to do anything. So we got some people in office that shouldn't be in office at Erasmo, and you know that for a fact.
It's a fact. It is a fact.
Proven fact.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Good morning. Un saludo. No, no, no. I know you're trying to trick me. Guys, and I know that they think, hey, man, I thought it was a great thing that they did. Vermilion.
Yes, yes. I went to the Vermilion 3 days ago, and they checked my temperature. And I thought, well, how ridiculous, what if it doesn't do anything? Come on, please. What if I was hot because what if I was outside exercising and then I wanted to eat? Come on, really? My temperature is going to be increased because I was exercising. You just can't, it's not a test. It's more of a kind of a guess. They're trying to say, oh, maybe we can guess that they might have symptoms. But come on, you don't want to play Russian roulette. You know what I mean? You don't want to just risk anything.
You don't. That's so true.
Yes, the taste buds. The taste buds.
Taste buds. That is what I've heard. Fact, Hoffman.
I like that.
We're gonna change the name. And I don't rather preach, bro.
Hey, 2020.
Guys, so I mean, and then now, Jaden, what's going on with the school district is now, we've been saying, guys, don't let the teachers go back on campus. Don't let the students go back on campus. It's ridiculous. Don't do it. But they have been thick-headed and pig-headed, and they said, no, we're going to put them back on campus. And guess what? Now, all those individuals that went back on campus in regards to staff and personnel, some of the individuals that went to graduation, and now some of our students that went back for the athletic programs and band, now they're coming out positive.
And think about it, Erasmo. We're in enclosed spaces. We're in a cafeteria. You got hundreds of kids crowded together, eating together. That's just a breeding ground. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous.
It is. And, I don't know if you saw, Jaden, but, they sent me a video in regards to what was going on at Porter and then at Pace. Pictures from Porter and then a video from Pace. And, kids will be kids, bro. The kids were out there, out there all together, no face coverings. No one was saying anything, And again, what did they expect? It's going to happen. If you bring kids back onto campus, that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to be socializing because we're social life creatures.
But also, you have to take into account that I heard this is just not a theory. It's more of a gossip, I guess. I heard that they wanted to do half a group of students Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, the other group Tuesdays, Thursdays, Sundays, whatever, right? They just take turns, and that's ridiculous. You're not going to learn that way if you only go. Even then in our school systems, kids don't even learn anything. So imagine cutting down the time by half. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I've been saying here. Parents, and students as well. But parents need to make themselves a little bit more responsible in regards to a student's education.
Yes.
We're in different times, bro. We're not in times of we're not the same thing we were last year. Now, parents need to put a little bit more effort in regards to your kids' education. But then there's some students, there's some students that just love to study, and they're going to do well. Others need a little kick in the butt, and it's those students that the parents have to come in and help out teachers, man.
Well, I would say that as humans, we all have our different cognitive abilities. We all have our basic learning intuitions. So basically, we're going to learn a certain way. Oh, that could make sense. That could make sense. The air conditioning spreading the virus throughout the building.
It's crazy.
You know how those pipes go. But anyway, there are some students they just can't learn sitting down with a pencil listening to a teacher. They have to actually do stuff. they have to. Some of them have to, instead of learning math from, just calculations on a board. Thank you, Laurita Garza. I appreciate it. Instead of just writing stuff down from a board, copying the teacher, listening to them, they have to actually maybe get a Rubik's cube or something and go 3 by 9. Okay, 3 by 9, and then multiply it. That's just the way they learn, because lots of people can't sit still.
That is right. Now there is only a few. Imagine when
Yes.
kids go back, they
Yes.
don't know, the little ones, and if they don't know, the big kids, no, get up, menos. Well, something that I want to go back to Joe's comment. If the virus is brought on campus, wouldn't the air conditioning spread all over the building? Let me tell you, Joe, and everyone out there, part of the problem is something that we're experiencing on a daily basis. We just don't know. We don't know. So are we setting our kids up? Are we setting our staff up in a petri dish? We just don't know because every day, guys, every day it's changing. Every day is something new. Every day, I mean, the what was good yesterday is bad today. What was bad yesterday is sort of okay today. We're learning as we go. It's a novel virus. Anyone can have it for weeks. And our work, we were getting our temperature checked, and it was all normal. That's what Jaden was saying. What worried me was the rash I got in my arm and the neck and stomach. People want to be vigilant and stay safe because anyone can have this virus and it affects people very differently. And the sad thing about it, a lot of people are still traveling to Mexico. And when they return, they don't do the quarantine.
I want to bring something up on that point because this is a very important, kind of controversial matter.
Go.
Okay, so I've heard recently there was an executive order signed, I believe, or one coming out that's going to restrict visas, travel visas, work visas.
Yes. Well, there's actually two. The first one was they extended the visa of individual visas coming into the country. The other one that they've restricted on at least till December is the work visas for people wanting to come into work in the United States.
Okay, and that's a big part of the Texas economy. I think they said it was 10% of all of the Texas economy is immigrant labor.
Well,
it's probably more. It's probably more. It's just not reported. It's definitely way more than that. It's just not reported.
Well, not only immigrant labor. I mean, think of Brownsville. Brownsville's economy depends.
And after they shut the puentes, it was horrible. Marshalls and Ross, where all the Mexicans crossing go to Marshalls and Ross.
Yes!
They weren't there at all. You drive by, it's empty. And I was thinking, wow, how sad. Because, I mean, it's just sad, I like those. I like Mexicans. I like them more than Americans. That's the truth. But it's just sad. It really is.
Well, it is crazy. It's crazy because, I mean, I would easily say 25 to 30% of our local economy depends on Mexicans coming over and shopping in our area. I think I'm going to say that McAllen is more closer to 50 to 60% of the income out there. The money coming in, the revenue coming in for the city comes from Mexicans, from Mexico. And again, it's not a great thing. DAP students are all different. They can do well online learning. Some do need one-on-one. But for now, they can get lessons from online. 100%.
Here's the thing, Cindy M. Arreo.
Go.
My sister took online lessons. She said she didn't learn anything. She said she hated it. All the people that I've talked to, all of them hate learning online because they don't learn anything because they're not physically present, and that's just it doesn't work. It doesn't work for most people. I would say most people just don't have the patience to sit down and look at a screen when they could easily close the tab and go to Facebook or something. You know what I mean?
That's it. Well, see, that's me.
That's me too. If I had to admit it,
I tried to take classes online at one point when I was doing. And I just say I can't do it. It's not thing for me. But one of the things, Jaden, look, and I was calling this out since spring break back then. I said, guys, end it. It's over. But no, we got to do the distant learning. I go like, you're not really teaching them anything. Really,
you're wasting their time. You're wasting. Look, I know it's important for the teachers. The teachers have. Do you know if the teachers are still getting paid? They are, right?
Yes.
And if they don't teach anything, are they still getting paid?
Well, one of the things that a lot of the teachers were concerned about, because there was always that threat of, oh, well, you're not going to get a paycheck. No, their paycheck was guaranteed already. I mean, they're going to get paid.
Down the schools.
Yeah. Oh, well, and my issue, Jane, and it's very simple. It's like end it now and keep the teachers working. But what I would have rather them do was let them start getting prepared for the fall, because it was all going to be distant learning. I've been calling it out for 2 months now. I've been saying, guys, start preparing for distant learning. And I've been saying we're not ready to distant learn. And we're not ready to distant learn because the infrastructure is not there. There's a lot of homes that can't afford internet.
Exactly. They can't afford computers.
They don't have computers.
It's a disadvantage.
Exactly.
Everything, it's Brownsville Public Independent School District. Brownsville Independent School District. It's public. Everyone gets the same opportunity, same features, accessories. Everyone should be getting everything the same because it's a public school, equal treatment for everyone. But you can't just mandate online learning without giving kids laptops to take home, for example. And we don't have that kind of infrastructure, equipment, like you said.
We don't, and we still don't. But again, that's why my call was, let's end it now. Let's wait this out a little bit. You can't grade individuals. See, it's impossible to grade individuals, because if I'm going to grade you, Jaden, and then I'm going to grade Mark over here, and Mark doesn't have a computer, doesn't have access to internet, then it would be unfair if I tried to grade y'all evenly or equally. Now, if I wanted to individualize the grading process, well, then you're talking about 42,000 students.
Yeah, that's going to be, that's impossible. It really is.
And that's exactly what I'm saying. It's impossible. It's just impossible. Can't do it.
That's why we can't have a perfect education system, because in a perfect education system, everyone would get the education tailored to suit their needs. Everyone. If we could have every student getting the classes that he needs, not the classes that they want to give him, everything would be perfect. But we just can't do it because we don't have enough resources. It's ridiculously, it's impossible. Basically, at least at this point.
Do air purifiers help so I can get one for my residents? Frank, again, we're going to think that we just don't know, Frank.
Yeah.
That's part of the problem. We don't know.
Yeah, we're not going to lie.
It can't hurt to get an air purifier, bro. It can't hurt. But, going back into what we were talking about, look, one of the things that came out, Frank, I don't know if you remember, but individuals would say, oh, you could run and it's okay if you don't have a face covering, a mask. And then all of a sudden, like 2 days later, then all of a sudden, oh, no. If you're running, you're expelling liquids. And you're going like, and then they said that the droplets, they linger in the air for a while. So it changes. But I would dare say that getting an air purifier, makes sense. And if you can get it, I would get it lickety split. But will it help your residency? I pray that it does. Against the virus, I honestly don't know, and I don't think anyone can know. But we'll ask Dr. Eder Hernandez, who will be on Friday.
Yes, ask a doctor. Get a doctor's opinion, because you just don't want to ask a normal person. Even all we're repeating are what the news tell us, right? It's just everything that the news tells us.
Jane is right. This is time to be creative, rise to the occasion, help educate the next generation of little Erasmo Castro teachers, etc. Preach.
There we go.
Expenditures. Great job. What about working parents? Not everyone can stay at home with their kids and help with their school, and that is another big issue. But that is why, Sylvia, I think, look, this is my idea. A lot of the times we have to mend or mold or change the system. Look, if parent can't be there to be with their child, then maybe they can do the work later on at during the evening when the parent is home. That is why it's like when you're taking, I don't know, Sylvia, you ever took online classes like at college or at the university? They gave out the lessons out there. They were on Blackboard. They were on there, and you would go on there, and then you would do the lessons at your convenience. Well, the students could probably go in there and do the lessons in the evening. But that's why we need to start thinking about switching up the days in regards to some in the morning, some in the afternoon, some in the evening. Again, it's the time to start to be a little bit creative and figure out what's going to best work for our kids. I know someone who has COVID-19 and is not staying home. They are at the lake, Walmart, etc. It's not a good thing. It's horrible. What happened? Cannot see. Open your eyes, Juan. I love Marshalls, but I didn't go out there I didn't go out there either. I love going to Walmart. $1 billion. I thought about talking about facts. Love you. It takes discipline. It does take discipline to do online learning. It really does. And some of us don't have that type of discipline. I don't. And something that Jaden said is very, very true. 60% of our economy, Cameron Hidalgo.
Wow. Wow. And I believe it. I definitely believe it.
Yeah, yes. Lodo's is on his facts. Yeah.
Look, one other thing I wanted to bring up before we stray from the BISD topic is the fact that lots of parents just use school as a substitute for daycare. You know, the school system takes care of the kids. They don't have to worry about it. So what happens next, right? When the kids can't just, I mean, they can't take care of the kids if they're working because usually they'd be at school. So that's a big problem.
Oh, it is a big problem. You see, and I think that's going. And look, it's a big issue. And I'll tell you why it's going to be a big issue, Jaden. Because let's say, like Sylvia was mentioning, we have to work, and you say, well, okay, so I have to leave my kids at home because I don't want them going onto campus, which again is fine. And you say, well, maybe I could get grandma to come over to the house and watch the kids. Then you're bringing more people into the house, and you're exposing more individuals. And then you don't know if those people that are coming into your house have also been socializing with other individuals. It's kind of like, what the hell do we do right about now? Everything's up in the air. What do we do? Online video classes, all students in class like we are now. Hey,
That's true.
A good learning tool.
As long as you're paying attention to Erasmo, you'll be fine.
Yeah. Online classes didn't work. Kids didn't learn anything. So
exactly. Case in point.
100% right.
Here we go.
That's what Jaden was mentioning in regards to the individual that he's spoken to. And again, I can't do well with online classes. I cannot. Damn, we do show up for a class spread COVID-19. Damn, we don't. No learning. It is no. And Juan Carlos, you're right. It's a catch-22. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. But right now, and that's why Juan Carlos. And I mean, I got a lot of heat for saying this, but I still think it's true. I think we should not start classes till January, and give us all these months to prepare. Everyone prepare. Parents prepare. Students prepare. Teachers prepare.
Yes, it comes down to personal responsibility. If you're not personally responsible, nobody else. Everyone in the world could be personally responsible, but if one person messes it up for everyone, well, then there you go, right? Everything's gone.
It's true, Jaden, and that's one of the things that I was mentioning. Can you imagine? I mean, I stay isolated as much as possible. I'm a loner most of the time. A lot of people don't believe it. I like my solitude. I like my quiet time. So I do well with it. But can you imagine after 3 months of protecting myself and my family, all of a sudden here comes Johnny.
Second wave.
And hey man, and he's got all the Rona all over the place, and then for nothing. I was taking care of myself for nothing.
Yeah, exactly. Personal responsibility.
Yeah, it's sad that this past Saturday, Luby's restaurant was packed. The line outside was crazy, and everyone in there had no mask on. Only the employees. It's crazy how people think that they cannot get this virus. Kimberly, you're right, and it's happening. What's up with the janitors and the lunch ladies? Are they getting paid? Are they wages going to be raised? Their wages are going to be raised a little bit. They have been getting paid. My concern, though, Arnoldo, and I know he's a good friend of mine. The problem, Arnoldo, is that come August, when kids go back to school, there's going to be no cafeteria. There's going to be no cafeteria.
They just pass the bags out to kids while they're in class, right? That's probably what's going to happen.
What's going to happen to all those lunch ladies? I mean, have they thought of that? Forgive me. Who is your guest? This is Jaden
Huffam. I'm a real estate agent with Keller Williams Realty. So if you need anything, just send me a message and I'll be happy to help you. Thank you very much.
Keller Williams from Brownsville. And Martha, my real estate agent, do not be upset.
It's fine, Martha. It's fine. I won't take your business.
Martha is a good friend. Where did I leave off? I lost my comment. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find where we're at in the comments.
Here, can I bring up one thing?
Go.
So this past weekend, week, because it's not the weekend, I guess 2 or 3 days ago, some Austin outlet posted some news information, I guess, that stated that HEB's employees are going to be getting their, because you know how they have a permanent wage raise?
Yes.
They got couple, I don't know. The sources I've talked to are making a lot of money right now and they love it. Well, there was a fake news article circulating that said that HEB was keeping the permanent pay, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's not true?
It's not true. It's fake. It was fake. So everyone that I know, all my sources, because I don't want to give any names, all those people said that they were. I mean, they were mad, disappointed, sad because you get this wage increase. You feel like you're on top of the world. You hear someone say, "Oh, you're gonna get that permanent wage raise," and then it's not true. And they confirmed it. HEB confirmed it that it was fake. But even after they confirmed it, another news outlet published it again and said it was real, even after it was confirmed fake. So that just shows you that people don't ever check the facts, do they? You just don't listen to the news because that's a perfect example of fake news.
News. It's fake news.
It's horrible. It's horrible. Misinformation.
Well, let me tell you, actually, I mean, this is new to me because I actually thought when I saw it, go like, "Hey, man, that's great," That's
Yeah,
great.
I thought it was real too, but it's not.
And that's great. And now that you're telling me that's not true, I'm going like, what?
Exactly.
That's kind of sad. Sorry, guys, my HEB employees. Sorry, BISD is rich. Provide the tools needed for every student.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
They were-
I mean, my God, you know what? We're paying so much money in taxes to BIC and everything. Look, Erasmo, do you think that you would agree with me if I state that lots of students don't even need to buy their own materials? A little folder costs a couple of cents. The BIC school board can provide it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Exactly. They can provide the materials. I mean, students shouldn't. I don't want to say students shouldn't have to go school shopping, but since the Brownsville Independent School District is providing a public service that's free and education is mandatory, just the fact that education is mandatory should mean that nobody should have to spend a penny on anything. Because it's so stupid. If you're required to go to school and you don't have any money, and they make you buy a backpack, all these supplies, and you don't have any money, that's horrible. That's unconstitutional. It's immoral. It's immoral to make people pay for something that they just can't afford, even though they're required to do it.
Well, let me tell you, one of the issues that I've had to deal with is my poor teachers out there. Teachers have to dig into their pockets.
Yes, teachers provide exactly. Some teachers are gracious enough to provide supplies to the students. They would give them binders. That's from their own personal pay. They're taking money out of their own pockets to provide students supplies, and their mandatory supplies. So that's just ridiculous. That needs to stop.
Well, you see, every year it seems that the list keeps getting larger and larger and larger in regards to the school supplies. And look at, man, BISD, our school district, I mean, well, and all schools, but we talk about BISD because I know it very well. They have $600 million a year budget. Hey, man, go out there and go buy a couple of trailers full of folders, a manila folder. Go buy a damn trailer.
Buy them in bulk from China. It's gonna be a penny a folder. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Less than that. It's ridiculous.
It is, and
that's absolutely ridiculous.
Especially when BISD gave out laptops and they lent them out. That's very true. My issue, Kimberly, is that for this coming year, they've purchased Chromebooks, and I think Chromebooks are not as great as getting iPads or laptops. And again, that's great, and I'm glad that they did hotspots. But even still, a lot of our students were underserved because
did every student get a laptop? Did every student get a laptop?
No, they didn't. But what happens is that a lot of our students, Kimberly, and this is what happened. If I got my numbers correct, I think only 10 to 12,000 individuals were actually served by the hardware that we provided at the district, and that's still a quarter of the students out there. Take into consideration, a lot of our students didn't know or didn't pick them up. So again, it's kind of hard, Kimberly. And my concern was the grading. How can we grade students equally when not all students had equal access to resources? That's my concern in regards to it. And I'm concerned about the new books that they were bought. We didn't buy iPads or good laptops. BISD would rather have sick kids going to school so they can get their money. It's all about the ADA. There has been some modifications in regards to the money they get for every student that's sitting in there, which is great. I'm glad that they're going to get their money because we do need to make sure that our teachers get paid, our employees get paid, and our kids get educated. Instead of the ratas and BISD taking money from the kids, do something good. Every child should get a computer and free interested for their education. Well, let me tell you, that's one of the things that we talked about last night, Kimberly, in regards to, you know what? Let's provide the iPads. Provide iPads.
Look, if we're being honest, it's not free because we're paying with our taxpayers' money for it. Because it's a social service. So just just kids are just getting it by our taxpayers' money. So it's not free for anyone. It might be free for the kids, but their parents are paying for it. So it's definitely something that should happen. If some kids are getting laptops and other kids aren't getting laptops, but people are paying the same amount in tax for the most part. There should be no disparity between resources given to some students versus other students. That's my opinion.
Distant learning, despite how imperfect it is the only safe way to go. At this point, Arnoldo, I would tend to agree with you. Again, it's just, can everyone have equal access to distant learning?
And can learn.
Yeah.
So once you reduce it from kids who can have access to resources versus kids who can't have access to resources, you have this very small pool of kids just based on the fact that they don't have resources. Then you have to subtract from that all the students who don't want to learn or can't learn. It's going to be a very minuscule percentage of students who will actually learn with BISD resources, and that's a problem, especially since we're all paying the same amount for taxes, for the most part, based on the pay.
I'm willing to bet the Priscilla Catiplan lady will not send her child, it's one child, to her private school. She's not going to. She's going to keep them at home because her kids don't even attend BISD. They don't, because she doesn't believe in BISD. She doesn't. She believes in making money from the district. That's what she believes in. That's what she believes in. BISD doesn't have a school board that supports education. BISD supports attendance. Where the money...
Exactly. All they care about is attendance. And that's they don't even try to mask their goals. They don't try to hide the agenda, Erasmo. They just say, our attendance goal rate 97%. We want 98%. They just that's all they care about, right?
All they care about.
Absolutely ridiculous. It's all public funding because they know, public funding right from the state, they're going to get more money based on attendance rates. It's a mess. It's a big mess.
It is a mess. I have an air purifier and it works. It cleans the air all through my house. Hey, great job. There you go. I can't remember who asked, but there's a Kimberly talking about air purifiers. Thank you, Kimberly. I change the filter every month and clean out the water. Awesome. Great job. Most of the learning that was taking place was review. It was not new content that was being taught. It's not distant learning. Then what is your suggestion for this year while still keeping the safety of students and teachers in mind? I'll give you my suggestion, Louis.
January, right?
My first suggestion was, let's hold off on bringing kids back on campus and perfect the process and wait till January. Push it forward to January. And if not till January, and what I mean is give it a little bit more time, a couple of months. But with that said, the only tool that we have right now is distant learning and, motivating parents to get a little bit more involved in regards to the process. It's the only thing, and Arnoldo is right, it's the only safe avenue that we have. But with that said, bringing teachers and bringing students onto campus is a mistake, is a huge mistake. And I stand by that one. Guys, if you run on your own, you don't need a mask. Now, if there's people around you, then of course, yeah. The problem, Luis, is that a lot of the people here, they use the hike and bike trail. And what happens is, that's why they were saying that if you're running down the trail, there's usually, you pass people or people are coming up behind you. And what the article stated was that the droplets, they linger in the air. So again, trust me, bro, I'm not doing much running out there.
No, I want to say something. I've been going to Gold's Gym for the past week, and you're required to wear a mask at the gym. That's I mean, come on, look, like the catch-22 situation, right? You could die by wearing a mask at the gym because you're not getting enough oxygen, you're not breathing, respirating perfectly. I mean, I have so much trouble doing that. Wearing a mask, but not wearing a mask at the same time, it's required. It's a county mandate. So it's just extremely difficult especially to exercise. I'm going to choose to exercise rather than not exercise. But when I choose to exercise, I have to wear a mask, and it's so difficult. And I'm sure y'all watching can agree.
Well, that's where one of the actually Michael Rodriguez was out there posting in regards to the confusion in regards to the mandate. Because if you read the mandate from the county, it says the mandate goes for face coverings in areas where you cannot maintain social distancing.
Oh, okay.
There's where again, but we need a little bit more clarification, because at the gym, mostly, because the building, like at Gold's Gym, I've been to Gold's Gym in the past couple of times. That's not enough. But at the Ghost Gym, there's enough space
There
for you
is.
not to necessarily interact with an individual. Now, if they're being strict in regards to like 25% of the people coming in to exercise only, then that 25% of the capacity for the building
Yeah,
will
that's
be able to social
space.
distance.
Huge
So
space.
why do you have to wear a mask? See, that was Michael's argument, and because the city of Brownsville was very, very adamant. Hey, if you see a business out there that is not having face coverings, then
Report them, right? They want you to report them.
that's crazy.
How are they going to enforce it? How are they going to enforce it? Can't you just, the police come in, everyone puts on their mask. What are they going to do? Am I right?
But Jaden, they want people to call 911. I mean, is the city
It's stupid. People are reporting their neighbors because their neighbors aren't wearing masks.
but to 911? Can you imagine?
It's stupid.
Imagine the lines. I mean, the pileups on 911.
We have actual emergencies to worry about. We can't just waste their time being concerned about whether someone wears a mask or not. Because look, let's be honest. If someone's wearing a mask and the other person isn't wearing a mask, well, at least the person wearing a mask probably not going to get infected, right? I mean, common sense. So as long as one person has it, there are two people.
It'll be everywhere. Does the public health department call you if you were told at the hospital that you have COVID? No, they don't. But you know what? Well, wait. Let me correct. Actually, the county was actually contacting a lot of the individuals after they tested positive. The way they went through the county, I know Dr. Hernandez was contacting the individuals that had tested positive at the sports park. So I think it's the doctors at the sports park and the staff that are contacting individuals. They're reminding individuals that they have to maintain social distance. They have to quarantine. They can't be out and about. But are people listening? No. ¿A poco one of the symptoms was no smell or taste buds? Yes. One of the symptoms that was learned, I think, actually one of the first places that we heard about it was from Dr. Hernandez here at the sports park, that no smell, no taste, you got Rona. Not good. Now, everyone should have a big problem with a board member not sending their own kids to the district. They came to help and believe in
hypocrisy at its finest. Hypocrisy. That's it.
It is hypocrisy. Every student learns in a different way. They should test each. Yeah, they should do away with the test, but they're not going to. They're going to have to still have the STAR test. Student in every early years, then create a class with a teacher that teaches in that style. This would be guaranteed 100% learning. We do something different. And that's
we just can't do it logistically speaking. It's just not logistically possible. Of course, it would be incredible if we could do that, but currently, I don't see any. And how do you feel about that, Erasmo? Is it possible? You'd have to have all these different teachers. With some classes might have two people in it because two people can only learn math by using Rubik's Cube, for example. You'd have such a small amount of classrooms, and that might be a good thing because you're not going to have all these students interacting with each other. But at the same time, it's just you can't have all of those teachers for all of those students.
No. Well, see that's, and I think what Royal is referring to, and it's true. We all learn differently. The problem, Royal, is that when we have 42,000 students to service, and I think I'm going to say that the district is probably going to go down to 39,000 students. When we have so many students to teach out there, then that's why we start to get these bundles of inside the classrooms where we have 20, 30 students per classroom. Something that, again, we have to take into consideration should not happen.
Lots of teachers can't take care of a class that big.
We shouldn't have classrooms with 20, 30 students anymore. But this superintendent has made mention that they plan to bring in 22 inside one area. That's a big mistake. And last night you had thousands of people who viewed your 9 p.m. cast. Classes can be done the same structure. That's one of the ideas that I had thought about was, you have individuals that lecture and have the videos out there in regards to individuals that could see it then. And a lot of people after we had 9,000 people on there last night. This morning, I think there's 11,000 that had already seen last night's show. So a lot of the individuals that couldn't watch it at 9 p.m., it's still on there for them to watch later on. And a lot of people will watch it today as well. So we'll actually, out of last night's show, you're probably going to have 20 to 25,000 people that have seen it. With that said, again, guys, it's a great avenue. And that's something that the school district needs to consider as well. You have to consider everything and figure out what's going to be the best fit for all the students or the majority of the students out there. Saludos. No, I know what you're trying to do. Every parent should choose what is best for their children.
Of course, of course.
That is why I have stated, and I'll state again, we as a district uh, have to start enforcing that parents, accept a little responsibility in regards to their students' education. Parents have to take up
Yep.
the helm.
Yep.
Juan Carlos, not going to school also is having emotional, mental, and psychological damage to students. But does that outweigh what physical needs? Also, students' education was regressed almost a year already. Juan, I agree with you. Part of the problem is that we become such a sensitive generation that everything offends people. Everything. Oh, okay, yeah, that's okay. No, man. Juan Carlos, you and I were raised in a time where, when you would tell your parents, I'm bored. And then what would they tell you, Juan Carlos? Tell you, see, you're bored. Véngase para acá afuera. Let's go outside and cut the grass. Quítalo bored. You wouldn't say you're bored when you were at home. It's just different times. But everyone is sensitive. Like the same thing that happened with The Rock, with a Jefferson Davis Memorial. Jay, did you hear about the Jefferson Davis Memorial?
I did. And look, this is just my take on it. Some people are going to get offended, but I really don't care. A statue is not a living, breathing biological organism. A statue cannot be racist. It might have been a symbol for racism, but a statue is not a living, biological, breathing, thinking creature. It's not. It's not alive. It's not biological. It can't inherently be racist because it's not alive. And if it's not alive, it can't be racist. It might be a symbol. It might have been a symbol, but it's not. It's not racist.
Oh, and again, 98% of the people in Brownsville didn't even know it existed. So you think
I didn't know it existed?
So you think no classes at all till January? No. What I think is that we should continue to provide educational material for everyone from here till January. With that said, I don't think that anyone should even consider stepping into a classroom before January.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see how it's like by the end of the year, but probably not going to be until January because August doesn't look like August is going to come anytime soon. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So that was my take, Sylvia. Again, continue to provide educational material online via Zoom if you want. I don't like Zoom particularly. I don't like Zoom because of a lot of the experiences that a lot of my teachers have already had on it. But there's different classrooms. There's as Yana was saying, give out a lecture, have it on the web page, and let students make them responsible to go on there and listen to the lecture during the time that it was given, or later on at night. Whenever the parents are there. But what we need to do, Sylvia, is start to make parents a little bit more responsible, so that we could share the burden. For too long, parents going like, no, it's the responsibility of the teacher. No, it's everyone's responsibility. We are all in this together. So that's my take. No one steps on a campus at least till January. At least. Saludos a la gente. Good morning, Monica. Does the public health department call you? No, they should. I hope they do. The food needs to be prepared for the students, regardless of whether there is children eating in the cafeteria or not. What's going to happen is that what they're planning to do is they're planning on not cooking at all. If I read the TEA recommendation, Lolo, if I read the TEA recommendation, they're talking about stacked lunches. O sea, give everybody Lunchables. Something that's already sealed up and packed up. Yeah. So in order to do that, Lolo, you don't need individuals actually cooking food. So let's say you had 20 lunch ladies out there preparing meals. Now you're only going to need 5 or 6 to pack them. That was my talk in regards to it. I mean, you're still going to have somebody out there doing it, but not as many as we had before. Awesome show. Debating between attending online class or staying. Hey, Joel.
Can we talk about the poor quality of the BISD lunches? Because that's just, come on, the kids don't deserve that. You know what I mean? In the comments, put in the comments how many times your children have complained about the Brownsville lunches, because I'm really interested in that. You get the macaroni, you flip it over like it's Dairy Queen, and the damn thing doesn't come out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is horrible. I bet the cafeteria will be making half food for in class and still not for curbside. Yeah, man. And you know what?
Oh, curbside. Curbside lunches that's interesting. That's an interesting, I never would have even thought about that. Curbside lunches for students learning at home.
And that's partially awesome because the school district receive a lot of money and a lot of funds from the federal government, from the FDA, in order to provide lunches. So yeah, for the individuals that are learning at home, yeah, man, give out the food, to the community. Go out and get it and go give it, get it and give it. It's like EBT, the EBT. I mean, yeah, go apply, go get it, go use it. So that would be great. Keep everyone employed. Again, I agree with Lolo. And again, it provides a service to the community. And what we need more right now than anything else is for continuous service to the teachers. Did an awesome job. They did, but they need training and more money. Yes. Not all students will do their best online. Yes. Not all teachers can teach online. Yes. Online is a different world for everyone. It might be better if the right equipment would be passed out each student and each teacher 100%. But in order to do that, we have to be prepared. We have to give us a little time to get there. Que saquen la pantalla de 1,000,000 en BISS. BISD, la maravilla. BISD, good, correction. Do you think eventually everyone's going to get it? I know I'm not.
I like that.
I know I'm not, but I don't know if everyone is going to get it. I'm going to say that everyone's going to come into close contact with it, because I mean, I'm going to think that there's some people that just aren't going to get it. They're not going to get it, and I hope not. Because I don't want my grandparents, my aunts, my uncles that are have underlying conditions. I don't want them to pass. I want them to live as long as they can. But it's affecting everyone right now. Some teachers do have outrageous requests for school supplies. Yeah, too much. And again, think of it now that they're asking for hand sanitizer, wipes. They're asking for stuff that was never asked for before. It's going to get kind of expensive for a lot of individuals. Now, think of this as well.
You have 6 kids. You might spend $600 a semester, just a semester. Not even the whole year. $600 a semester. That's making minimum wage $7.25, and you get taxed that. So you take home like what, $6.80. You have to work what, 100 hours to send your kids to school.
It's crazy.
And you're paying taxes for them. You still have to pay for the kids' supplies. So that's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's what Jair was referring to earlier in regards to the outrageous request for in regards to the school supplies, which I really think that a lot of these need to be provided by the district themselves. I agree with Jaden in that respect. But with that said, guys, think of it, and Jaden mentioned it right now. A lot of our individuals, our midpoint, our median here in regards to monies earned is like $16,000 to $18,000 a year. Guys, that's not a lot of money.
Way beyond the poverty line. Way beyond.
We are the poorest community in the nation.
In the nation.
With that said, think of it. Think that a lot of individuals have actually lost their job during this.
And on top of that, think of all the individuals who they're illegal. They're not reporting anything, so they might be even way below the 16,000 a year line.
Way low.
We have way less than. It's just horrible. It's just horrible.
If they can buy a 900 phone, they can buy a notebook that costs $1. It's true. But
yeah, that's true.
Many kids don't buy anything, and teachers have to provide. Yes, and even when they won't do anything, even then they won't do anything. Yeah,
I don't care. I
know a lot of teachers out there that are putting in a lot of their money. Saludos, Erasmo, and you too, Jaden. Always interesting conversations. Here, love for that. Everyone, don't forget, Erasmo for President. Preach, Chaparro. Love you, man. Chromebooks are less expensive and allow for students to save to the cloud provided by Office 365. Taking advantage of the programs being provided by district. Yeah, and Lolo. And again, more power to people because of the Chromebooks. I don't like Chromebooks. Personally, I don't like Chromebooks. I prefer the iPads, and I'll give you one reason. You buy a Chromebook now, and it's going to cost you $100, $120 for a Chromebook. That's fine. More power to you. By next year, it's going to be obsolete, and then you're going to have to buy another one for $100. And with the iPads and with iMac and with laptops, I have my Mac. I actually just got a new one just for the show. But my old Mac I've had for 12 years. 12 years. And it's still running perfectly. It's one of those big screen, thick ones. But it still runs amazing because it updates itself. But because of the new system that I have, it's a little bit outdated. So I had to get this one. But can you imagine keeping a computer for 12 years? It's a great computer. Great computer. Teachers' budget has always included school supplies for their students. God bless them because BISD does not care.
Yes.
Very important. The ADA is what provides the funding to pay our teachers. The ADA provides the funding to pay for our teachers and gives enough money for Sylvia to pocket a lot of that money. And a lot of the other board members to foment the culture that caused her to steal our students' money. And that is really a shame because a lot of our special needs students out there, a lot
Yes.
of our special needs students were not well serviced. We're
Follow
not
the money. Follow the money. See where the money's leading to, and you'll find the corruption. That's just the way it works.
They have more money to buy laptops and iPads. They do. And I know that they do, guys. Look, we have a $600 million a year budget. Plus, we have general fund. We have cash that's stashed away. I mean, every time they say there's no money, it's a lie. There's over $200 million stashed away. $200 million, and it's on the website. I'm not making this stuff up. Shout out to Rosa. I know what you're trying to do. Not going to happen. Lucy, Peanuts, agreed. Look good. I agree with Lucy too. I heard, no, want the kids back to school. I know what you're trying to do. The agenda is funding for schools. Duh. No, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money in there.
Money, A
little late. Yeah, a little late, but you're here. A ver. No. Yeah. There will be a protest today. A gathering of teachers, parents, students at BISD at 1:30. So yes, we'll be out there. Is there no concern with all the spikes in the amount of people coming out positive? What happens if these poor children get sick? It's ridiculous that all they care about now is the money and the attendance on children. They should wait. 100%, Nina. Should wait. 25 feet. Seriously? Wearing glasses is a struggle. It is a struggle. Trust me. I know. I have my mask, and I have my bag. I hope I have it in my pocket. I have my mask, and it goes over here, and the glasses get all fogged up. I don't know.
Yes. It's not fun.
Yes, wearing glasses and a mask is not fun at all. I really want to know how my kid's going to be safe in school. How many students will be in the classroom when most classrooms usually have more than 25 students? The amount that they talked about was up to 22. That's crazy. It's irresponsible. And, it just goes against everything that the medical experts and the scientists said. This is the perfect time and opportunity to educate our kids on independence. It's key to become self-sufficient individuals. It's obvious not for all, but for those that can and should. That's what the method assess teachers, 100%. Yes. Innovation, yes. Innovation. Erasmo, Dr. Ed Hernandez estará mañana en la mañana o por la noche. Dr. Ed Hernandez will be with us tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. There's not enough teachers to have small.
Exactly. And that's just, it's something what can we do, right? What can we do at Erasmo? We really can't do anything about that, They're not going to expand and build schools twice as big just to have less students in a classroom. It's just not feasible.
It's going to be a difficult situation. Ever heard of K-12? They mail you the books, telescopes, everything you would need, even parents' books. That's awesome.
That's for homeschooling. Yeah. I bet. I have quite a lot, but just message me after and we'll talk about it.
Okay. I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure it's a video game.
It's a free game online.
I know what it is. Is that an infected person's cough can send infectious respiratory droplets flying as far as 6 feet. While those droplets are small, they're heavy enough to be affected by gravity. The droplets eventually fall to the ground, contaminating any surface that they may land on. If you touch a contaminated surface, the virus can be transmitted to your hand, where the virus can likely survive. Uses that you can't get infected through. I lost your other part. Sorry. Can't get infected through, and that's all. It lets you. Sorry about that. But yeah, Luis is on point. I think that is crazy. If I see it as BIZ only doing it because they need money and they get money by attendance, and yes, students don't learn the same online. Credit to Houston Methodist. Thank you, Luis, for sharing. Appreciate it. Yeah, January 2021. Ray, we've been with the same. There's Citrix.
Give the kids some freedom. You know what I mean? Give them a little vacation.
At Texas A&M, hey Dalton, my buddy. Texas A&M, we're having an in-person class on the condition that everyone has to wear a face mask. 100%. That's also remote options for every class at no charge. BIZ should follow. Okay. You're on point, Dalton. On point. But one of the good morning, Mary Lou. One of the things that they mentioned is not requiring face masks. That is a dumb mistake. I am not defending Prissy, but a lot of principals and teachers send their kids to private school, and Rosa is correct.
And that's exactly the point, that they're they're on the board of BISD, yet they won't even use their own services. That just shows you that they don't even believe in BISD. They're pushing the agenda to make people believe in BISD when they don't believe in it themselves.
Make parents responsible. I love it. It was tough getting them accountable when they knew kids were done in May. It's if it's still no and they're not doing it and teachers don't. Yeah, Jessica, you're 100% correct. And that's and again, I agree with you because I've seen it, I've lived it, and it is a funny situation. But we have to educate these individuals somehow or other. Anymore, though, we as a district, we as an education agency cannot provide everything. These are different times. It is what it is, and I agree with you 100%. I know exactly what you're saying. Erasmo, shout out to JC Solutions. Yeah, credit repair. Curbside lunch has been in place since March.
Oh, okay. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, it has been in place since March. They've been providing meals for the students and for anyone that goes out there. And
Okay, okay. I was thinking about the Brownsville Wellness Coalition and the food bank are doing similar things, but you don't have to be a student. They just pull up and get a bag of food.
Yeah, great. My kids said it is beyond disgusting.
This is the food. This is the BISD food.
It is. We need to tweak it. And
always complaining. Look at that.
They don't eat lunch, much less a lunch break. Yeah, but let me say, and to the defense of my food nutritional services people, Laura, the new director, was starting to make some changes. I saw them, so they were starting, but then boom, the Rona hit. So the kids don't eat lunch at school. They wait until they get home.
I wouldn't either. When I went to, no, I would not eat over there. Nope.
School food is not the same as back in the 90s. That's true, Malu. Let me tell you, we would get some amazing food back. The only thing I didn't like about food back when we were growing up, Malu, is I didn't like the mixed vegetables because, they were canned mixed vegetables. Those were horrible, but I love me that square pizza and the hamburger. This is good. I love 2020. Love you, Eddie. Education is about a team, the student, the teacher, and the parent. Yes, that's what I'm referring to, Jessica. It's time. It's time to start making parents and making the home body a little bit more responsible in regards to students' education.
It's a social obligation. It's a contract between you, the school, and society. And the kids. Everyone's got to work together for everything.
Never paraprofessional. I worked as a paraprofessional, Maida. I've taught class as well. I know the struggles and I know the dedication, the hard work. So yes, love y'all. I've always asked for hand sanitizer and Kleenex, and not many came in. Bought them myself. Exactamente. Too many teachers are digging into their pocket to give out there. What about all the shortages on supplies? Well, right now,
another reason why
there aren't any. There aren't any wipes out there, guys. Us as parents can't even find antibacterial supplies for our home, much less to buy some to send to school. That is why my suggestion to the school district was go out there and buy these tubs, these big old jumbo tubs, these 25-gallon trailers, or a big old trailer of antibacterial. Go buy them. We have the money. Start distributing them. Ni modo. What to do now? What's hilarious right now, businesses are already displaying the seasonal school supplies, and they have masks and face coverings next to the paper folder. Isn't it crazy how things have changed, Juan Carlos? I mean, what was unheard of before, because that's why we have to accommodate. We have to change. It is. Saludos para mi tío Benito. I only saying the first names now. I'm not going to catch me again, guys. If parents can pay for their children's cell phones, they can afford $1.
But they don't want to. They just don't want to. And that's, come on, really, come on. It's your responsibility to take care of the kids. They're more important.
My Mac laptop lasted for 10 years. Exactamente. And that is what we need to be purchasing. We need to be purchasing stuff that's going to last us a good 10 years. Again, my Mac, 12 years, and it's still running. I have it at home, and here at the office, I have the new one that I bought. Morning, Marita. God bless. Shout out to Vero. Good job, Vero. 1 p.m. I read 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is when the meeting starts. 1:30 is when everyone is going to start gathering and driving through in front of the building. 1:30 for the gathering, 3 o'clock for the meeting. Teachers ask for supplies because that comes from their superintendent and board members, 100%. BISD have plenty of money, but remember that the board members keep the money for their vacation and beach house parties. You're 100% right. If a student comes out positive, will just classrooms be sent home for 2 weeks? See, that was the question that we were asking last night.
Yeah.
They're going to have to. So can you imagine the loss of 88? But then what's going to happen? See, this is where it gets kind of like a catch-22 if situation. Let's say a student says, I have to be at campus. I have to be on school. Then they go on campus, they become positive, and then they infect the whole classroom. The whole classroom has to go home. And then at home, then they're going to continue on with their distant learning. So why not avoid the middleman? Just
Why even go to school if one
yeah,
person gets infected and everyone cancels school? It's just a waste of everyone's time and resources.
keep everybody at home. That
Exactly.
that was my point exactly.
January, Erasmo.
Yeah,
January.
just keep them at home because avoid the middleman. Board members with kids in private schools should not expect anyone to believe in BISD. You're 100% right. Asking the experts is a good time to sell my home.
Oh, okay. Well, right now I did a little market analysis, and so the prices of houses are rising slowly, but that means that it's a seller's market. You know, your house has a little more value than it usually does. But everything works in equilibrium, you know, with the market. So there are less people buying houses because the houses cost more, but you can get more for the house than it's valued for.
So it's a good
General statement. General statement. General statement.
so it's a good time to sell or to buy or both.
Well, it's a seller's market because houses are worth more. So if you want to make money with your real estate investment, you should sell at least before it goes down or the rate of value stops increasing.
So seller's market.
Yes, sir. Seller's market. So if you want to sell now. Although it might go up, but it's not expected to go up. It's expected to balance out in equilibrium.
Well, the only thing I own is 3 cats, and I don't want to sell any one of them.
I can't say that I blame you.
Salud, Erasmo, a mi tío Benito. That's all I'm going to say, Homero. I'm not going to say last names anymore. It's TEA that has given them 2 options, maybe 3, but the state is offering very little direction. Yeah, Jesse, and I think the reason is that they're offering recommendations. They're offering recommendations because the situation at BISD is not going to be the same as the situation of Olmito, and they don't have a district, but I'm using it as an example because smaller towns, smaller districts, they might be a lot quicker in regards to providing distant learning, because they have less students to service. It's kind of difficult when you have 42,000 students to service. So yeah, TEA gives out recommendations. The districts do not have to follow the recommendations. They could implement their own. That's what they were trying to say. Jaden, I've got 29 if you're trying to squat up.
Okay, then. Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
Dalton, I think I understood half of that. Love you, Dalton. Big shout out to our teachers. It'll just be so overwhelming for them being on top of so many children. You're 100% right, Carolina.
Being a teacher, it's a mandatory job. We need teachers. Teachers are some of the most important professionals in society. So we can't just treat them like trash. We already treat teachers like trash. The school district treats teachers like trash. They don't give them as much respect as they deserve. They don't get paid enough. You know what I mean?
They don't. And that's one of the things that AOBE is fighting for today at 1:30 out there is safety for our staff and safety for our students, and also fair wages.
Exactly. And think about it. If teachers are getting paid more, the standards for teaching will increase because BISD is going to say, well, we're investing more into our teachers. We better have better teachers. So we're going to have higher standards, which means better teachers for the students.
Yes, definitely. Just so that ICUs and hospitals are full. It's not going to get any better these next couple of days. It's going to get a lot worse. Pizza and mixed vegetables didn't go well. They didn't. I remember, but that's how they served it. It was crazy, right? But the pizza was good. Shout out to the Villarreal family and Rancho La Gloria. Love y'all guys. I love Rancho La Gloria. I've actually been there. What's going to happen to paraprofessionals and substitutes? They're going to come in and help out with the distant learning. It's again something that Jaden was making mention. It's going to be almost impossible. And look at what happened throughout these past couple of months. A teacher couldn't do it, man. They couldn't take care of 122 students by themselves and then continue doing all this paperwork and all this writing. I mean, teachers were ending their day at 10, 11 o'clock at night. So we're going to need the paraprofessionals. The substitute is another matter. Good morning, Noelia. My kids get stepped every
strep throat.
Strep, yeah. They all miss religiously. Has always affected them. COVID isn't strep. It isn't strep. What about water? Drink a lot of water.
PUB.
Salud, Elva. Erasmo, onta la chocolate milk. Unfortunately, education is not a priority for some parents. You're
True.
exactly right. That's very, very unfortunate. Same for the Secretary of Education. She doesn't believe in public schools because all her kids went to private schools, so she wants to privatize schools and expand charters.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Barack Obama. Look, Michelle Obama was what? She was in charge of the food. What was it? The food triangle? You know what I'm talking
Oh
about,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
They sent their kids to private schools, yet she was trying to reform. They even proved that the food triangle, with all the different amount of carbohydrates, calories, fats, lipids, everything. They tried to analyze everything from the food triangle, and it was just proved to be incorrect. That those measurements of food intake, depending on fats or whatever, it just didn't add up. So that was a mistake, and us adapting it was a mistake, and also the fact that she doesn't send her kids to, or she didn't send her kids to public schools. It shows you how much faith they have in public schools, right? Nothing.
I remember them taking out all the good stuff, all the sugars, all the salts.
Yes.
It's madness, horrible. In other countries, schools are open only for the essential workers. If both parents work, if only they do distant learning, 100%. They're asking for school supplies from the public so they can pay the superintendent $400,000 a year. It's madness. That's what
Public information. Everything's public information. You can find out how much these people get paid. You just check the payrolls, right? It's all public information, right, Erasmo?
100%.
You gotta expose them.
My mom was subbing. A parent told my mom, "You teachers have to buy supplies for kids." My mom was shocked. How sad. Some just want everything for free, and classes are free. Too sad, and they don't pay school taxes. It's very unfortunate. I may say both. Yeah, I know what you're trying to see, and I agree. I mean, it's like I'm amazed at how many students out there actually carry an iPhone. I'm going like, goodness gracious. But to the defense of some individuals, buying an iPhone is not as expensive as it was before. Because I have an expensive iPhone. I have the 11 Max something or other, but and this one does cost, I think, $1,200, something like that. But I know that a lot of students, if you want to get an iPhone 7, an iPhone 9 or something, those are way cheaper. You can probably get them for a couple $100, $100 maybe.
Well, along the same line, Erasmo, I don't want to come off as pretentious or anything, but we have these families that live in low income houses. The kids can't get maybe the basics that they need, yet they buy a new car every year with financing. It's horrible. It's a problem. Just don't buy the car. Just don't buy the car. Take care of your children. Your kids are more important than a new car. It's so sad when you drive by houses that might cost $40,000, yet they have a new Ford Raptor at the front, 2020. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about. You see it all the time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It's a cultural issue because, of course, down here we all like to have, the troqueando and everything. You know what I mean?
It's
but
true.
You gotta have some reform on that. You know what I mean?
Shout out to Luisa. I have a nice spot at Spring ISD.
Oh, nice. I don't know what Spring ISD is, but yeah, we can talk about it. Sure, why not?
Spring, Texas.
Spring, Texas. Never even heard of it.
It's by Houston. I wonder what degree the superintendent has to get paid that much money. Well, I mean, President of the United States makes that much money, so maybe he's a billionaire too. 250K. Hit me up.
Okay. Nice.
Yep. Sadly, some parents see teachers as babysitters.
Yes, it's true.
Respect for teachers, 100%.
Yes.
If any news stations will show up at the BISD building to report on the gathering, I'm hoping they do. I don't know. I mean, again, the news here is so pathetic that
it is. It really is.
They won't share the truth. They'll share what's convenient. And again,
it's like that. Yeah.
If you put money, advertising money into the Herald, into Channel 4, Channel 23, they're not going to report anything against you. It's all about the money. And I love you too, Lalo. God bless you. Appreciate you. Los Frenos High School is finalizing the school schedule. Stay tuned. Thank you, Martin. Let us know. Martin Jaden is one of my board members in Los Fresnos, and I love this now.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Los Fresnos guys. I went to Los Fresnos in 2 years of high school, so yeah, I enjoy it.
Awesome. You got
better. Everything's better.
But there are race for the superintendent race. Exactamente. It's crazy. A ver las botas. I'm going to take it off. These are las botas. I got them at the thrift store. They're actually awesome. But look at the point. And yes, and of course I'm wearing them today. Because why not? Hello. ADA needs to take a backseat to safety right now. Schools should not be penalized for attendance during the pandemic. Safety should be first, 100%. And I think that TA has made mention that they're going to actually take care of that. Let me put my boot back on. Food pyramid. Yeah, that's the one that Jaden was talking about. It was horrible. Horrible. Kat, if the media isn't there to document this, it's like it never happened. That's why it's good at us. We'll go live.
Yes, yes, because look, most of us, I mean, we get our information from the Brownsville Herald, but Channel 4, right? We have like 2 or 3 main news outlets that we get our news from, but there are so many things happening that no one reports about, no one talks about, you know? And it's public information that we could find out if we just did a little bit more digging. We just have to find out everything for ourselves, because if it's inconvenient for them, they're not going to report it. I mean, I've experienced it with the Brownsville Herald. It's been like that before.
Sucks. Cat, if the media is look pretty, but live or preach for. That's me. I'm handsome and totally not fat. Me too. Me too. Agreed. Glad Erasmo will be there since he provides the real news around here. Preach, Cat, and I will always do my best to provide the news. Cada año con el Lincoln. Se compra el Lincoln. It should not matter what school a child attends, BIZ or others, as long as the child gets the education. What's important is that all teachers and school employees are paid and treated fairly and treated well. 100%.
Can we talk about one thing? The fact that if we take PACE, for example, we take an old school versus veterans. There's such a disparity. Between everything. That's funny. So how do you feel about this, Erasmo? That some of the low-income areas have lower, standards for schooling. It's because all the veterans, I don't want to say all, but lots of people in the 78526 area are zoned for veterans, and it's a nice new school. But then you get the 78520 area, and they're zoned for PACE. It's old, it's outdated,
Well, you're right, and one of the issues that I had with a lot of my school, and my principals aren't going to let me lie. I was fair to all schools out there. I treat every single school fairly. But yes. You're right in regards to a lot of the resources that a lot of our schools in the poor parts of town, they don't have. And,
I experienced it. I went to Russell and Stell. They're definitely not the worst, but they're not the best. They were lower down there in quality, especially Russell. Russell was pretty, Russell was that kind of school. You know what I mean?
Yes, it was, and again, one of the things that the reason that a lot of the kids, would want to go to veterans was because of the new facilities. That is why we got to make it one of our top priorities is to upkeep a lot of our schools. Hannah is one of our oldest school. Well, is the oldest high school here in Brownsville. It was before. A lot of the facilities, they need a major touch up. And my people are not going to let me lie. It's something that we pushed for. We pushed to have the gym built out there. Pushed for the classrooms, the building to be remodeled. I actually wanted the cafeteria changed because I didn't like the way the cafeteria sits. But a lot of different things. But again, when board members don't take the time to go out there and visit the campuses and talk to the people that are in there, they're not sure what the needs of the resources are. You have to have communication with everyone. Everyone. Biased media stations are now not news stations. They aren't newsworthy. Suck. Drop those ratings and see them change. Reach. You say that a school district should buy supplies, but then you admit people use their money on fancy cards and things that they can't afford. People need to be responsible for their kids. Well, and I'll explain, Doreen. My issue is having teachers buy supplies.
Yes, because the parents are paying for the kids to go to school through their taxes and government funding. The government, since they're already paying for it, the students are already being paid for by the parents. They should be getting the same amount of resources as everyone else, and everything should be fine.
Oh, and going back, you say I have used my own resources to buy kids things because I'll never see one without things they needed. And that's exactly my point, Doreen. Our teachers are spending too much of their money on kids' school supplies. That is why I truly think and truly believe, in order to guarantee that that even out keel for everyone out there, go buy a trailer full of disinfectant. Go buy a trailer full of notebooks. It's going to cost the district pennies, pennies. But in essence, I want our teachers to stop buying stuff. And a
Yes,
lot of teachers, they dig
yes,
deep into their funding in
yes.
order to provide these services. And
That's
no
the
more.
problem. That's the problem. That's the problem.
Siempre que pasó con la Silvia, ya no se oye nada. Early July. Early July, it's still on. Canales is still up and used. Like, oh my God, una manita de gato, por favor. Yeah, a lot of our schools needed it. A shout out, please, to peace officers and all the
Yes,
first responders. Yes,
yes. Police officers don't get paid enough to
they
risk
don't.
their lives. They don't get paid enough to. They're not even making. Some of them don't even make a living wage, yet they're risking their lives. And they're good people. We have some good police officers in the community. We do. I know several of them. They're really good people, really nice people, and they don't get paid enough to risk their lives. First responders either.
And let me tell you, Frank, and you're not going to let me lie. There's a lot of our police officers, our firefighters that are coming out positive out there. And I just want to make sure that our city continues to provide the necessary, proper PPE, and also, make sure that they're maintaining our first responders safe. And again, my prayers to all of them out there, all of my police officers, all my medical personnel, all my EMTs. We love you. We appreciate you. Y'all have become our heroes and truly essential individuals in our community. They always were. Education starts at home, 100%. Parents are the kids' friends that they leave it to the schools to do it. Look, we have to be told by the government doctors to wash our hands. It is. That's madness. That should be taught at home at an early age. That is very, very true. Jason, thanks for supporting the high school.
I've experienced LFCISD and BISD.
Hey,
LFCISD is just light years ahead of BISD. And
Martin,
that's
I always supported Los Fresnos. Why didn't I get a shout out, bro? Morning, Tom. I agree with Jaden that online learning will not help the valley due to so much media. Yet allowing our kids to go back to school is not safe unless there's a vaccine or we follow strict precautions. We may go back, but we're talking about children. They are not used to these changes. They surely are not. Is Jaden on a boat? He's making me dizzy.
Sorry about 40 HP webcam. Sorry. I'll get a better camera. Don't worry.
Get a better camera for next one, guys. Erasmo keeps it. Love you, man. Always keeping it 100. Hola, Michiwich. Love you. Go Falcons. I love me, my Jerry. I love me, my Falcons. You know that, bro. Appreciate you. Jaden, anything other we need to talk about today?
We can talk about.
We got
just one more thing, I guess. I just want to say that with the real estate business, as of March 23rd, the Texas Real Estate Commission created a COVID addendum that extends a contract 30 days if it's a residential contract. If the contract can't be completed due to quarantine or closure, so you have an extra 30 days if you have that addendum and you're trying to get a contract to go through on a residential area.
Awesome. Any last words for today, Jaden?
Oh, no, nothing. It was great to be with you, Erasmo. I appreciated it.
No, thank you, man.
Highlight of my day. I'm not going to have anything else to do for the rest of the day because the highlight of the day already passed. You know what I mean?
Oh, man. Well, I mean, hey, it's open for them. Whenever you have a chance, you want to come on. Hey, we'll be here tomorrow again if you have the opportunity.
I watch you.
Huh?
I watch you.
Well, you can come on if you want as well, but be on here as well. Whatever you choose. We do appreciate your insight, man. And again, thank you for coming on. It's not easy. As a realtor, you better be careful how you talk about the school district. Schools are a big selling point.
Look, here's the thing. I want to be honest. I don't want to cheat people. I know that when you buy a house, if you spend $100,000, most people don't make that much in 3 years, 4 years. It takes 30 years to pay off a house. I'm not going to want to sell someone a house if it's not in their best interest. I don't want to do anything to not keep their best interests in mind because it's important. It's important for them to get what they deserve because a house is no joke. Buying a house is no joke.
No, it isn't. It's a big step. It's the
most important investment most people will make in their lives. So it's very
Who are the principals for Burns and Pace? I've actually tried to find out. They've been very, very hush hush on it. I think though for Pace, it was between Benita from Falk and the middle school principal from Vela. That's what I heard. And the other one that was in contention was the one of his buddies from Edinburgh. So we'll see. BID needs to use the TA catalog for the kids' education and the setup. They get sorry for the crazy. No, it's all good. I love you. I love you, crazy. Jaden, again, thanks for being on, man. And hope to see you tomorrow if you are wanting to come on and be on here as well. Guys, it's going to be an interesting day today in the city of Brownsville. Today at 1:30, we'll be out there. I'll be shooting live from across BISD. Louis will be using Louis' truck, be sitting in Louis' truck. And if anybody wants to interview tomorrow live, just come on to the truck and, we'll try to maintain as much social distance as possible. We'll have our face coverings out there. It's going to be a beautiful day in the city of Brownsville. If it doesn't rain, we're going to be there at 1:30. Board meeting is at 3:00. Go on to bisd.us to look at the board agenda. And again, guys, we'll be back tonight at 9 p.m. with Jimmy Vela, the Port Isabel board member, and also an administrator for IDEA. So, we'll get some insight in regards to what's happening to IDEA. Again, Jaden, again, love you, man. Thanks for being on here.
nice. Thank you, sir.
Guys, have a great day.
Okay.
Take care of each other. Take care of us.